This is Musical Talk.
Musical Talk.
The UK's independent musical theatre podcast.
Musical Talk. The UK independent musical theatre podcast.
Well, hello, welcome to this week's episode of Musical Talk. Once again, in my annual summer trip, I find myself in the home of the wonderful Andrew Edwards.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm very well. Very well.
We're
Enough
on
of that, please.
And joining us is the other member of this home, Carys Gray. Hello, Carys.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Welcome to our home.
Yes, it's lovely to be here. So today we're going to be have a couple of things. I want to talk to you about Ghost the Musical, which is touring. I saw it at the Wimbledon Theatre. I also want to play you an interview I did with Marc, Shaiman and Scott Whitman, who are in town doing music and lyrics for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane. We're also going to talk about Rent randomly because, you know, we've got to visit some random shows. What should we start with?
Well,
Let's
Nick, you know, head of the table.
introduce yourself, Carys, because this is your first time on my show.
A little bit. No, I'm not at all.
One of your big passions in musical theatre is Rent. There's even a book about it in your home.
Oh, you spotted that, along with a
Yes.
fanny floss, but that's something else. One likes to keep oneself clean.
Yes.
It's alright. It's get edited out. Don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
So, but you are closer to the show than I realised because you were in it, weren't you?
Yeah, I did the last production that was at the Prince of Wales in 2002. The original
born then.
production.
And you'll
Thanks for that.
forgive me for asking. Sorry, we're eating cupcakes at the moment because it's Carys' birthday.
Yeah. Way!
Why has the show never worked here?
I don't know. I really don't know. Obviously, the doom of the Shaftesbury didn't help, whatever that reason is. It went on tour, and then it came back for its swan song at the Prince of Wales, and that's where I was fortunate enough to be a part of it when they had to recast certain people, which was really quite wonderful. My first West End show, and awfully exciting. As we say in the business, I did live the dream. Because it was one of those shows throughout drama school, I just went, oh, do you know what? Something about it just absolutely gripped me by the nuts. I've never had them. But it was so special to be a part of, and friends I did the show with are friends for life. It sounds terribly wanky, but it's true. It's true. You ask anyone who's been in it, and they will say exactly the same thing.
So it worked for you as a performer.
Yeah.
Had you seen the show before you went into it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I saw it at the Shaftesbury many, many times.
So what about it grabbed you as an audience member?
Just the honesty of it, and just the grittiness, and just the fact that I got to cover the Royal Maureen and play the Royal Maureen many, many times, just to be completely outrageous and do exactly what I wanted to do was cheaper than therapy, really, wasn't it?
And you were saying that Jonathan Larson's father came.
Yes, Al Larson came to visit us, and just every time the show's put on, a member of the family come and see it, and they just want to be a part of it, which is completely understandable because obviously Jonathan wasn't there to finish the show, and it was just so lovely, such an inspiration to meet him, and just have that support, and you were doing a great show that means a lot to a lot of people, especially people who helped create
do you think, it works very well in New York because it's about...
Yeah. I went to see it in New York when I went over there a few years ago, and I just went, what do you want to see? I went, I want to go see Rent, and I sat on the second row from the front, and I was like a stupid mad fan. It was brilliant. It
One
was
of the original cast members,
yeah. Both of them, Anthony Rapp and.
It's been so long, we can't remember the names.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen the film. I never saw the show.
and I never seen the show either. I've seen the film, and that's enough to turn you off it for life.
No. The film misses out a lot of grit, a lot of good stuff, and my dear friend David James Holston. We watched it. We went, oh god, come on, let's watch it. And it was really rubbish. because there was so much missed
So it's
out.
musical talk.
There was so much missed out. I mean, yes, great to have the original cast in there.
In their 50s, yeah.
Yeah, didn't look too different.
I mean, the thing which struck me when I watched it, and it's probably more so in the film because it's a physical set.
Yeah.
If you can afford this apartment, that has sort of 12 windows looking over New York City, what are you moaning about? Stop moaning about it and pay your rent, and just...
Or move to a smaller place.
Yeah.
Get it. Completely get it.
It is based on the lives of real people, as long as is it not? I mean, this is what I didn't know before I watched the film. It's actually based on not a true story, but a sort of a part of his life, a friend of his. That explain that, because I don't fully understand. What it is. Is it a true story, or is it like a? It's
La Boheme, isn't it?
Well, it's based on
it's
La
La
Boheme.
Boheme,
We've got all that, and reading this book here will explain a lot more to you. And it is based on real people and real lives in New York.
But instead of TB, it's AIDS. Is that right?
That's right.
It's like La Boheme.
Everyone has TB.
Everyone has TB.
It just doesn't sound like an enjoyable night out unless you're in the biz and know the songs and stuff. I mean,
Well, you say that any musical, you say that.
Well, no,
say that
yeah.
name is if you want to.
you have to ask yourself: would your neighbour go and see Rent?
Not round here.
Not our neighbour, because our neighbour just likes to smoke weed.
My 94-year-old grandma came to see me play Maureen, and bless her heart, she sat there, and her comments were, well, it was a bit loud, obviously, but I'm so pleased I got to see her play such a great role. Even though I had to kiss a woman in it, but hey, she's 94. She's seen it all. It was quite wonderful to know that my grandma saw me in that. And, I've done more classical shows since then, even more outrageous ones since then. But still, she saw that and she just said, I was so thrilled to see you in that.
We should explain how we met, shouldn't we?
Well, Andrew, there we go. Pass the baton.
What was the show that we met on?
The producers.
And what were we dressed as?
Nazi soldiers. And little old ladies.
I met
Matching
Carys.
little old lady outfits.
It was
Broke the
gorgeous.
ice.
Yeah, it did.
And it's how you and I met as
Like
well,
a
isn't
fat
it?
penguin.
Well, you did. It's quite svelte then.
Yeah.
And it's how you and I met as well.
That's right, yeah. And then Carys and I did it on tour together.
Top dog, old granny.
Yes. Cash. Actually, look at. Have you seen our new
On
picture
the wall
up there?
here.
Bank of Oz and Cash and Hobby Touch Me.
So that's what I love about shows, is they will go to that detail that they will make real props.
And we all had Dixon
I'm all about the props.
We all had Dixon Ticonda, Rogue, whatever it was, number 2 pencils that they say in the script. We all had those pencils, and our pads had the name of the accounting firm. It's incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I mean, that's where Carys and I met, doing the old producers together.
With Peter Kay.
With Pierre Kay.
So that's Rent, and the reason I bring Rent up is it's about to go to Chiswick at the Tabard Theatre soon and do a production there. And they're doing a production of it. So there's a concert production of it with dear Kerry Ellis as well.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about Carousel at the Barbican, because that's what you...
Not in our mentioned lineup, but if you want to go...
I know, not in your mentioned lineup, but...
Terribly sorry.
Tell me about that, because I went to see that, and I have to say, I wasn't a huge fan of the show. Like, I'd seen it a couple of times. I thought, oh yeah, it is one of the, obviously one of some of the greatest songs ever written. You can't, for a musical that is. But I've never been a huge fan of the show. And I went to see it at the Barbican, and do you know what? It was like proper good, like.
It was dead ace.
It was like effing immense. Tell me all about Carousel at the Barbican. Tell the story, because it's just such a...
Okay, so it was Opera North's production of Carousel. Opera North is based in Leeds. The show was originally put on Leeds, and then it went to Salford, and then they recast because certain members of the Opera North chorus
couldn't face going down south.
Well, they do, it's the North-South Divine. No, they had other shows to perform in Leeds, so fair enough. Auditions were held for just the Barbican production, which I was lucky enough to get an audition through my dear friend David James Holston, who was the resident choreographer of the show, and along with Kay Shepherd, who was marvellous.
Who taught me tap in college.
Who taught Andrew tap in college, there we go. And I managed to get in. which was completely amazing for me. Working for an opera company, never worked for an opera company before.
But doing a musical,
doing a musical, they wanted people who can sing, dance, and act.
All at the same time.
Oh, crikey, Moses! Who'd have thunk? And
multitasking stuff off the books.
And I was lucky enough to be able to be classed to be able to do all that.
It was such a wonderful production.
And really the director Jo Davies was seriously wonderful.
Big opera director,
big play director. She works all over the world. She has got such a wonderful way of working with people, and we created this community in Carousel. All of us knew where we were, knew where we were going.
You never walked alone anywhere.
It was the
I'll
best,
never walk again after it, but that's another thing.
It was the best finale I've seen for that show as well, because it started.
You were saying it's set in a different time.
That's what David was saying. It's set in the 30s. The end bits, they said it in the 30s. Because it's kind of a bit obtuse, isn't it? Where it's actually
innocuous.
Yes. And they said, but it's very clever. They set all the heaven. When the time he goes to heaven, it's all set in like kind of a film. Sort of 1930s early Hollywood scenario, and the use of projection was so clever.
Yeah.
For that section, all the lights, and he stills the stars and all that. Really, really clever how they did it. And then the finale. I mean, I've seen that show many times, and it stands alone as a finale. One of the best finales I've ever seen to a show. Because when it started, I thought, this isn't going to be very good, because they started it with all the chorus facing in the pews, facing away from you. So I was like, well, this isn't going to be a very big ending, because they're going to sing "I'll Never Walk Alone." It's supposed to be, one of the most climactic moments in musical theatre. And all of a sudden, as they're doing the speech, and the people start standing up, people start standing up. If you know the show, you know what I'm talking about. It starts to revolve, didn't it? And the whole stage turned around.
We revolved.
And then all of a sudden, by the end of it, everyone's standing up and it's just singing. And then all of a sudden, all the music cuts out and they just do it a cappella. And there was literally not... sorry, I keep knocking the table. Literally not a dry ice in the house.
Dry ice in the house?
Dry ice in the house.
There certainly was no dry ice in it. But,
literally not a dry ice in the house. It was
unlike the Sound of Music at the
well, exactly. Ballardy.
Seriously, I was... even my mother was crying, and she's a rock.
I've never broken Irene Gray, but I did.
She's a rock hard that was.
Well, odd Irene, don't call her that for nothing.
And what else we should talk about? Bakewell Youth Theatre, where you started. Give them a shout out.
Hello, Bakewell Youth Theatre, where I started.
Because there must be some people up there listening to the podcast.
Well, absolutely. Sue Stones, founder of Bakewell Youth Theatre, 1978, the year I was born. Oh, gosh, you'll hate me for saying that, but yes, 35 years on.
And we're going to the 35 year.
And we're going to the anniversary ball in June. June.
Very nice.
Busting
out all over.
There we go. Another.
Poor old June.
Yeah, poor old June. She has enough.
So Forbidden Broadway said, going back to Carousel soon, projections will take over.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yes.
And it kind of did in our show, yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I want to also talk about the tour of Ghost. Mm-hmm. Which I saw only last night at the Wimbledon Theatre, a beautiful theatre, sort of a bit beyond West London, isn't it? And
yes. What? Wimbledon?
Yeah.
I think everyone knows Wimbledon because there's a very famous sporting event that takes place every year.
What, hockey?
Football.
Oh!
Bloody Tim Henman. Never mind.
Ping pong.
First of all, the Wimbledon Theatre is huge. I mean, it's always amazing. Yeah. It's like a real West End theatre with lights and sound and everything.
Very haunted.
I know, they actually do haunted
ghosts.
Halloween, they do ghost walks and things.
There's that famous story about the fourth witch in Macbeth. Oh, I should have said the word. Yeah, great story about someone went to see it and said, they're doing the version with the fourth witch, and then in the middle of Act 1, the witch just goes up and stabs Duncan in the back, and then the actor had a heart attack, fell down dead, and afterwards this guy, this it was just after the witch stabbed him, which it's not in the script, and they said there was no one that stabbed him in the back. There wasn't a fourth witch on the stage. What are you talking about?
It was fourth wall.
Fourth wall on the stage. But,
well, currently haunting the Wimbledon Theatre is Ghost.
Yes.
Have you seen Ghost?
I haven't. No.
No. Well, of course, you mean to go to the theatre anymore.
No,
So
I have.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know.
But you saw the original at the Piccadilly.
I saw it at the Piccadilly,
Theatre,
yeah.
which I saw.
I don't know many people who don't know the show. I was quite prepared to know exactly what was going to happen, and it all did. Yet I was still in floods of tears at the end.
Well,
it absolutely broke me.
I've talked about the show before on the podcast, but for those of you who are new, hello. I went to Ghost very early on in its opening in London, which was 2 years ago, I guess now, having never seen the film. So my only experience of Ghost is seeing the stage show.
Yeah.
And I left the stage show thinking this is one of the worst scores I'd ever heard in my life.
Right.
But visually, it is one of the most exciting shows.
They got a special... explain about the special effects and the person they brought in.
Yeah.
Well, as we've long said, I think a lot of it comes down to Matthew Warchus, especially, and his creative team, whom he chooses for every show he does, from Lord of the Rings to Our House to Matilda and to Ghost as well, which generally consists of Matthew directing, Rob Howell doing the design, Hugh Vanstone doing the lighting, Chris Nightingale doing the orchestrations, and Paul Keeve doing the illusions for Ghost. And probably when you saw Ghost, the bits you remember are the magic tricks. Because that's what separates it from being a theatrical event to just seeing it on film. When we take special effects of film for granted when we see them. But to see someone walk through a solid door on stage is amazing.
And especially the tube, the train.
Yeah, the train
is what stuck out in my mind is the newspapers.
Yeah, because I saw the touring production, which is essentially what was on in Broadway, and they made a lot of changes, and it worked. It works a lot better. That dreadful Ball of Wax song was cut, replaced by a mildly better song, I should say.
Ball of Blue Tack was it called?
The train sequence, it used to have two bits, Carys.
Yeah.
Where at one point you saw it from the side view and then you saw it from the back view. It's now in one scene, so at one point the lights go off for half a second and the whole perspective has changed. So you're seeing it from the back end as well as the side.
Okay.
And in the place of where that used to happen, it's now just a very quick scene. Okay. The subway ghost has changed. He's no longer a kind of Rastafarian. He's just he's still angry.
Oh yes, well of course he would be.
But what
he's on his train.
What I love about his character is he teaches Sam how to push stuff. Yeah. But how was he killed?
Yes.
He was pushed off a train. Little details like that. But I was really curious to see Ghost again, was to see how they toured a show that is this technical. Yeah. They not only did it, but they've improved it.
Wonderful. Well, that's rare. Let's follow and see where we can see it next.
Apart from the big illusion at the end, which I was really sad, which was not in there. Oh. The Blue Room illusion is a technical name for this. Right. When Sam, the character, famously played by Patrick Swayze in the film, he fades away on stage. Yeah. And twice, so he fades in and then he fades out as if someone turned the volume down.
That was truly incredible. Down.
And if I were to tell you, and I won't on air, how they do that trick, you will realise why they cannot tour that magic trick. Because if I said the whole set design and lighting rig had to be built around that 3-second illusion, you'd be, that would give a clue as to why they can't tour that trick. But I really enjoyed seeing the show again last night. The projections are still there. They've been improved even more. The opening is a lot bigger. There's a it's like you're in a helicopter flying through New York. Uh-huh. And the show starts with a helicopter erupting from behind you and it just flies over you and then you fly through the skyscrapers of New York. Wonderful. As I said, it was really great to see the production, and I will say the two leads were miles better than any of the two casts who played it on in the West End.
Really?
You said you were in floods of tears when you saw Ghost. I saw it probably 4 or 5 times when it was in town. Didn't cry at all.
Well, of course you don't, because you're dead inside.
She showed you.
But last night I did have a couple of tears.
A couple of black tears.
Which orifice?
The New York office.
There you go.
So it played Wimbledon until the 11th of May 2013.
And then it will be going on to the Edinburgh Playhouse, the Grand Theatre Wolverhampton, the Leeds Grand Theatre in Leeds. The Manchester Opera House is a lovely theatre.
In Manchester.
Where's that?
Manchester.
Oh, right.
Royal Concert Hall, Nottingham. Bristol Hippodrome, brilliant theatre. Milton Keynes Theatre. King's Theatre, Glasgow, one of the best theatres in the country. Mayflower Theatre, Southampton, Mayflower Theatre, woohoo! Which is my favourite theatre in the country because that's where I'm from. New Victoria Theatre, Woking, Sunderland Empire, and the Alex in Birmingham.
Are these the bigger touring venues of the country?
No, some of them are.
Yeah.
But for instance, the Opera House Manchester is traditionally the
second.
The second. It's the
Palace
Theatre is the number one, and then you've got King's Theatre Glasgow is the biggest, but there are two theatres in Glasgow, so that's number one. Yeah, no, it's pretty much a number
and
one.
I presume they're all ATG theatres, Ambassador Theatre Group.
It looks like it looks that way. Yeah, yes, they are. Yeah.
So that's Ghost. Very exciting to have that show back, and especially with the new changes. So please do check it out. You can check out more information at ghostthemusical.com. Very simple.
Yes. I wanted to talk about, if I may.
Yeah.
There's a new play going on in London, and I really wanted to give a shout out. A play going on in London, which I'm going to see. I keep promising myself I'm going to take Carys to see this. It's a great story behind this play. It's called A Complete History of London. And it's
perfect for you.
Yes. And as I work, obviously.
Why aren't you in it?
Well, that's
there is a story.
But basically, there was this banker working in the city. I said banker, and he rented some rooms of his house out, and these actors moved in. A few actors moved in, and he was surprised at how much they weren't working at things they were doing in between jobs, and working as doing this and doing that, and they weren't
tour guides,
doing all sorts. And he wrote them a play. He wrote them a play, and it's now going on 3 shows a day underneath one of the best pubs in London, the Draft House pub on Tower Bridge Road. It's called A Complete History of London. Please visit this website, please completehistoryoflondon.com. Absolutely wonderful. I've heard nothing but good things about this. It's been in the Evening Standard, and just go online, check it out. And it's underneath a grade 2 listed.
I want it done on a tour bus. Yeah. Imagine that.
Well, that's kind of what my tour is, to be fair.
Yeah, but you don't sing it, do you?
No, I don't sing it.
This is
the musical. This is a play, but it's a bit of a farce. And basically, they do the complete history of London from the Roman occupation right up to modern day.
So it's essentially like the reduced
exactly reduced Shakespeare Company. It's very, very. I believe it was going to be similar to that. I've not seen it, but I'm desperate to go. It's had such good reviews. And I'm trying to get everybody to see it. I'm putting it in the newsletter for the big bus that I work for, the tour bus company. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to promote this show, because I think what a bloody brilliant idea it is, and the fact that this city banker has gone out of his way to write a play for some out of work actors.
So kind of him.
What a bloody.
Is he paying them?
He's actually quit his job to become this is his job now. He runs a theatre. He's the manager of the theatre, and he puts this show on.
Doesn't ask my question though. Is he paying them?
Of course, he's paying them.
Good. So certainly go and see A Complete History of London, hilariously abridged in an hour. Didn't take long to abridge it then.
No.
The show London created, so you can visit completehistoryoflondon.com to find out more information about that.
We know what goes
check
before.
it out. And it's a lovely pub as well above it. Really, really nice pub. Lovely beers, lovely menu. So,
now,
go along.
We're going to end this episode with an interview that I did with one of the best writing teams in the world. Marc, Shaiman and Scott Whitman, most famous for doing the South Park film musical, Team America World Police.
Oh, do you know what? That South Park film musical is still one of my favourites we've ever written.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's quick as well. It goes by so quick.
and I love the end of that one moment where they stick everything, all the song stuff on together. So clever.
No resistance.
No resistance lives on. Blame Canada.
Hairspray, the Martin Short musical, Fame Becomes Me, which if you don't know is brilliant. Catch Me If You Can, and loads of other shows. So
I saw that.
They're here doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is about to start previews at.
And the director is Sam Mendes of Skyfall fame.
Yes, and Douglas Hodges in it as well, playing Willy Wonka.
Absolutely.
And Nigel Planer, who we mentioned on one of our first ever episodes.
Who was in Wicked when we started.
Yes, that's right.
Because we are as old as Wicked is in London, which
That's
is
weird, isn't it?
about to be 8 years old.
We were podcast of the week in our 4th month.
You're only 8, and I'm marrying you. Oh, Christ.
After 4 months of this podcast, we were the Sunday Times podcast of the week. That's impressive.
I'll
isn't it?
drink to that.
Yeah, drink to that.
Cheers.
Listeners, it's been a fucking pleasure.
Andrew.
Your yearly appearance, Andrew. You've been in a total of 8 episodes.
So offensive, isn't it? Founding member.
But anyway, this is what I had to say to them when I met up with them in their makeshift recording studio.
Giggity.
At the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, because Marc had all his equipment shipped over from LA to work on Smash while he was in this room at the Theatre Royal also.
Never heard of it. Is it like Glee?
Better than Glee. Also working on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and here's what we had to say.
Musical talk.
We are in a makeshift studio here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's the composer's room, they call it. And, I just need all this stuff to do. Not as much work on Charlie as much as other work I might have needed to still be doing. But that's not really true, because I've actually ended up doing quite a lot here. But, orchestrating with all this stuff, or one great thing the modern world has given us, I was able to sometimes film a rehearsal. Once they finally sort of had a scene down that I knew I had to write underscore for, I would film it on a flip camera and then load it in here, and it was very much like scoring a movie. I was just able to sit there and calmly, without everyone staring at me, figure out a lot of that underscoring. So that was really a great use of all this stuff.
Certainly gone on the days of the pen and the paper and the cigarette.
I'm the pen and the paper. Yeah, I only work with the pen and the paper. I hardly even know how to use the computer. So,
the last time we talked, Marc, the show was due to go to the Palladium. We're now at the Drury Lane, so a lot has changed. So, how is it to finally be here and be so close to the first preview, and Scott as well?
oh my!
It's exciting. I mean, we've been working on it off and on for 5 years now, and so.
And today we see squirrels,
Yeah.
So we're squirrely. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could bring you into the theater, but we can't.
My time will come. I don't want to see anything.
The Oompa Loompas will be making their debut in less than 2 weeks now.
A week from Friday.
Yeah.
This is always an interesting musical to look at because it's been done 4 times. This is now the 5th musical version of Charlie and the
Really?
Chocolate Factory.
What are those other
What are
ones?
the other ones?
There is Leslie Brooks's version,
Well, the movie, the first
the newly,
movie, right.
and then he made it into a full-length musical for schools.
That they licensed, right.
And then there's an opera called The Golden Ticket.
Right, that Lissy doll was involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there was the sort of Johnny Depp film, which had lyrics by
Some
Roald
songs,
Dahl,
right.
and Danny Elfman did the music, and now there's your version. So,
You're right. Oh my God.
Well,
how do you look at this project as brand new?
Well, because we started from scratch. I mean, we did start from the book. So, because for some people, that first movie, the Gene Wilder movie, is their Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is my Wizard of Oz. So I didn't have any. I wasn't like, oh God, we have to top all that. I felt like it was starting from a very fresh approach, and we've tried to. There are things in the story that we've done that give it sort of a more emotional heft than it's had before. So
It's an interesting story because there's no villain as such.
no villain.
Charlie doesn't really do anything. The parents and his whole family are stuck in a location, aren't they? So it's great for a dramatist to look at and think, well, what can we do to open it up and change it and have dream sequences and stuff like that?
Well, people do change in the process of it, and I think that by the end of that, one of the characters does have a major.
And instead of like in the first movie, they tried to have the secret whispering person. But in truth, the parents and the kids really are kind of the bad guys in a way. And Willie himself is, you never know what he's up to. So there's a certain, not quite sinister quality to him. But on the other hand, he dispatches children who may actually be dying from their dispatching. One never knows exactly what's going to become of them. So there's enough scariness going on. But I mean, with Roald Dahl, the villains were the society that he was sick of.
The TV and
the
food. And
Right.
And all that has become so much more pronounced even than when he wrote the book. It's particularly a kid who only stares at a screen and is obsessed with violence.
God, can you imagine what he would do with the Kardashians? I can't even think of that.
Girls, someone who only chews gum and wants to be famous.
Famous,
I mean,
yeah.
so we were able to take all that stuff and we made Violet Beauregard be like, we don't spoof reality TV shows, but she is a girl
who's
her and her
famous
father
for chewing. So
expect fame from this, and we made Violet Beauregard a ballerina. So that was we found ways to musicalize each which way they could be pushed just a little further into one way or the other.
And what's interesting about the this piece is it's always had a certain timeless quality to it as well. So musically, it opens up a whole, especially as you're in this kind of Oz, place where nothing is, so
it's there's no set time or period, right?
So you've been, I presume you had a lot of fun with, because one thing we've always said you're brilliant at is the pastiche, both in your lyric writing and the music worlds you create. So
yeah, there just weren't any boundaries about it. No one could really say, oh, they wouldn't sound that way. It was really up for us to
get
just
to go
decide.
everywhere from German Umpapa to kind of major theater ballads. So it's been fun.
I've heard rumours of rap as well.
Yeah, sure.
There's literally almost
there's something for
it's
everyone.
Quite a smorgasbord.
I presume new songs have been written here for rehearsals and stuff. What
We've
challenge?
made some lyrical changes in the course of things, and obviously when you're working with actors, you want to listen to them as well, and obviously we've been in a room now for 8 weeks rehearsing, so
it really just lyrical stuff. It really won't be until previews where we might find out, oh my God, we need to write a new song or replace a song. But the story is so structured. It's not like, let's lose the parents. Let's we don't need Veruca. I mean, it all has to happen as it happens.
And also it helps probably for you, Scott, being in the being in London and hearing coming up with slang.
Oh yes, of course. We've had quite a few moments where I finally talked them into it, but they said that class and last don't rhyme, and I said they do in the north.
Yeah. So we're a couple of days away from the first night. By first night, I mean the very first night. Is it a difficult time for you now?
The orchestra starts this week, so that'll be that as another element.
So that'll be thrilling, adding the orchestra, and also frightening in that it's so much music, and just making sure it's right, and that Sam is happy, and that Scott and I are happy, and Doug Besterman, the orchestrator, and Nick. There's a lot of the other stuff we've had weeks and weeks to explore it, and then suddenly the orchestrations come in, and it's like overnight, people descending upon, well, can that be that? I mean, hopefully it'll all just be wonderful, but that is going to be a quite intense few days. And then that's also where previews will, things will adapt. There are some things we know won't be 100% as they will be when the show finally opens.
But it's a very generous preview period. I think the first week we only do 2, and then the second week I think they add 2 more. So there's time to work during the week.
It's not like it's every day.
Right. It's not like you're rewriting something and then having to do it at night, something else. So it's that hopefully it won't be the case.
And how are you finding this beautiful theatre?
Oh, I love it. Someone was I often sometimes go wander off. It's quite something, and we just learned about the secret passage tunnel from the dressing room to the pub. Yeah. So, and the 2 boxes, one for George II and one for his the prince.
The ghosts.
Yeah, the ghosts. There's quite a few ghosts.
I was tapped you on the shoulder.
No, I keep waiting for Mary Martin or Noel Coward to do it, but no.
If you can, tell us visually what the show is going to offer, because that's, I think, what a lot of people are very excited about.
It's just like the music. It's everything.
It's quite stunning. The Marc Thompson has done a really stunning job. He's done the clothes and the sets. And
I said to Marc Thompson the other day, there'll be no living with you once the show opens, because it had to be what he's done, which is just.
It's stunning. It's really stunning.
I mean,
hopefully it'll thrill people. Yeah.
He doesn't call for a black box production, let's say.
That'll be fascinating someday if someone does that. But no, this is not a black box. I mean, an audience will certainly know that everyone involved with the show was determined to give them.
And also saw the same thing. We're all painting from the same paint box.
And you say it's been in the process for 5 years. So how did you two get involved? Because
we campaigned to do
No,
it.
we got a call
Well,
saying
we got
would
a
you be
call, but
interested?
then we went after it. They were seeing composing teams and
British
we-
ones or American ones?
I
We don't know.
believe
We
it
don't know
because
where
it was the Dahl estate was very involved, and they brought on the book writer David Craig. So it's been they had been seeing a lot of people. It's sort of international. I mean, we're the only Americans that are working on it. So, but the idea that it is something that somebody had come to Marc about a long time ago to do, and it was exciting to do it. We wanted it. It was a good title, and also I think that Roald Dahl was such a mad prophet of the airwaves, so it's sort of in
Words as well,
words and everything. So it was sort of a songwriter's dream.
Because I guess the one thing is people might say is that this show is just a reaction to another show that's
Well,
doing...
we
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
mean, it's
know-
frustrating for people to think that, being that we've been working on it so long.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And then
put
that
to
came
rest.
along, but we're like siblings, and you can only be happy for them. We just hope that their success won't make people feel like there can't be another Roald Dahl musical. So
I've always thought Roald Dahl is the best thing to be music. I just want The Witches to be next, so I think you should fight for that one. Imagine the songs for her you could
We
do.
loved Angelica. Angelica Houston's a friend of ours from the TV show, so
Yeah,
do anything for her.
Speaking of that, I do want to briefly mention Smash because we enjoyed the first season so much. I actually saw some episodes whilst I was out in LA, and what I saw, it's taken a real different turn, hasn't it?
Sure did, yeah. Away from us.
Yeah. If by plummeting can be what you define as a different turn.
But we got to write a whole score for a musical in front
Which
of
has been released,
America. Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Yeah,
brilliant.
and
So
this
that was
year,
fun.
even though the show went in directions that were certainly not anything we had anything to do with, we got to write for Bernadette Peters,
Liza
Jennifer
Minnelli.
Hudson, Liza Minnelli, Sean Hayes.
Yeah, we
We're
got to
very
write a
happy
little-
with what we got to write this year and the people we got to write for and the kind of orchestrations and arrangements. And we're very, very proud of
Had
what
Jonathan
we...
Tunick work with you as well, didn't he?
Yes. I mean, I finally, in my older years, finally given up trying to orchestrate everything also. And so, it was finally time to say, well, if I'm not going to orchestrate, can I finally call Jonathan Tunick? And to get him to orchestrate songs that Bernadette Peters was singing. So to be in the studio with Bernadette Peters over there in the booth singing and Jonathan Tunick conducting the orchestra, it was like, we were like, well, we'll stop complaining.
And we
tonight.
got a cast album out of it, so that was really nice.
And I've heard it, and the Moon song she sings.
Yes,
I'll Hang the
I'll
Moon
Hang the
is
Moon,
absolutely absolutely
That's
gorgeous.
Jonathan Tunick, yeah.
And so we look forward to Smash coming here to
Yeah,
Sky
it
Atlantic.
hasn't started yet?
No, it hasn't yet, but I think it'll be the same thing it was last year. So hopefully that'll start in the summer, and we'll look forward to watching that.
Great.
Marc, Shaiman, Scott Whitman, thank you very much. We look
Very
forward to
welcome.
following Charlie on his journey through the
The factory.
I call it Charlie and Amazing Technicolor Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you
very much.
Very nice.
So, Carys, thank you very much for
Thank you very much for
putting up with us.
no, absolutely for sticking your mic in my dining table.
He's on the couch tonight, so alright. It'll be somewhere else later.
Thank you so much.
Andrew Edwards, it's been a pleasure.
Always
as
a
always.
pleasure, you
Thank
beautiful
so,
boy.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.
See you next year. It's fun, isn't it? Google. GHOST. That's spelled ghost, isn't it?
T T H
So you're r. It's a r. It's not an at the end of tour. It's a r. Fucking idiot.